Hello, Bendlandia. Springtime right around the corner, which means summer bouldering, spring bouldering, climbing, whether it's indoors at the gym, which I guess happens during the winter, or maybe it's outdoor climbing competitions like these bouldering events that we've had. Regardless of how you do it, we here at Backyard Bend have hooked up with Mike Rougeux, the director at the Bend Endurance Academy, also a lead coach for the U.S. Junior National Team, to talk about a little bit of spring climbing, spring bouldering, spring mojo, do's and don'ts. When we come back, we dive deep into Mike Rougeux's pack.
Gear up for winter at Powderhouse Ski and Snowboard, Bend's largest selection of skis, snowboards, boots, and bindings for all styles of riding. Specializing in custom boot fitting, we'll help you find the perfect boot with great performance and comfort at Powderhouse on Century Drive.
All right, so spring's right around the corner, and that means bouldering season's going to be kicking off here in Bend. April 1st, a lot of the roads open to some of the favorite bouldering crags right outside of town. So a good time to look at what's inside of our pack for a bouldering session. So we're just going to take a quick look on what I like to bring for a bouldering session. So we got water bottle, of course, got to stay hydrated. So keep that handy with me. And I like shoes, so I bring a little bit of a whole arsenal, the shoe quiver. So I have some high angles with some edges and a different version of the high angle pros. Doesn't matter what shoes you want to wear, just make sure they fit well, and whatever works for you is what you should bring. Another necessity besides shoes would be chalk in a chalk bag, whether that's a chalk bucket or just a traditional chalk bag with a belt. This way, if there's like high balls or I want to chalk up on the route, on the boulder, make sure I have a chalk bag with a belt, and make sure you have chalk in it. So always double check that before you head on out. I also have a pair of approach shoes. Mainly these are in my bag right now, just a low profile approach shoe with some sticky rubber on them. Right now, winter season, I'm usually approaching the boulders in boots, and then I like to change into these when I'm at the boulders or in between burns, so I'm not wearing my climbing shoes the whole time. And let's see, bring some shades. Gotta have, with the water, also have to have some fuel. So I got my picky bar here. So make sure I bring some fuel, and I bring some Theraflex putty. So for all you older climbers out there, I use this to just warm up my hands. Sometimes I'll even do this as I'm driving. So on the way to the boulders, just to warm up my fingers. I find that the better I can warm up, the better bouldering session I have, and prevents any finger injuries. And then I like to bring a kit, so a skin kit, but this little pouch has a lot of other stuff that I use while I'm bouldering. So bring a brush, so whether that's to clean off holds or to brush my tick marks. So sometimes boulders may put a tick mark on a hold. That way they can see the best section of the hold they're aiming for with their hand. But it's really important to make sure we brush our ticks off afterwards. So just do your fellow climbers a favor, brush the ticks afterwards. This also is good to remove excess chalk. Too much chalk on the holds might kind of fill into some of the divots and just a little less bite on your skin. So brush. Usually I have a resistance band. So again, this is for my warm up, get my shoulders engaged without having to spend too much time warming up on the wall or on the boulders. So I'll use a band to do some warm ups. And let's see what else. I got tape. So just in case, to preventative tape for my fingers to protect like my A2 pulley. Also, just if you end up ripping a flapper, it's good to have something to stop that. So tape. I also have a little forearm massager. So try to just fight off that pump a little bit for long sessions so I could get in here and work things out. This is also just good for my warm-up, helps stimulate blood flow. Fingernail clippers, so make sure I bring those. Got to keep the nails trimmed. You don't want your nails scraping on the rock. So make sure you have nail clippers. An emery board, so use this to just make sure we have good skin. So filing down those calluses. So an emery board's really nice to have with you. Some like lip balm, split stick, hand salve, anything like that. Nice to have with you. Other various rolls of tape. A little bit of a contact solution. Any of you wear contacts, I'd bring these out. Chalk up in the air, you're blowing off holds after you brush them. I like having this just to make sure that I'm not ending a session because my eyes are just killing me. So I like to have all of that in a nice pack that you just, or a nice pouch or a bag, stuff sack that you could throw in. This one's from Rhino Skin Solution, another local company. Check those fellows out and grab some of their stuff. I also have a laser pointer, cat toy laser pointer or anything like that. I use this to, if I'm sessioning with some friends, you could point out holds. Instead of, you're saying like, oh, see that hold up there, the brown one? It's like, oh, well, they're all brown. So laser pointer just helps a little bit when you're climbing with friends, talking about beta. And yeah, that's pretty much it that you need for a bouldering session. Obviously, also, you can stop by any of the shops in town and pick up one of the Central Oregon Bouldering guidebooks. There's a new edition coming out this spring, so that'll be great to have. That way you know where to park, so we're not putting our areas at risk if we're overcrowding them. It also gives you approaches on where you can access some of the boulders, seasonal closures, and then of course a lot of just the good local information, some history of who came before us, put up some of these hard boulders, and that way you kind of stroke your own ego a little bit, know how hard you're climbing as well.